I got back a lot later from filming, or I wasn't actually filming, I was taking photos of an event. I'll tell you what, a conversation I'm just so tired of having, not that I'm unwilling to talk about it, because I'm going to talk about it right now, but just the housing situation is incredible. I was talking to somebody today about it. I was talking to somebody that I work with tonight about it. Just like, this market is insane to buying a house. I think I've spoken a couple times on here that our current living situation, while is very fortunate, and we're very lucky. It's not like ideal. It's not it wasn't really our plan. It was supposed to be sort of a temporary situation, but just because the market was so hot, it became a permanent situation. Even if money wasn't like the main obstacle, there's just no telling what kind of value you're going to get for your money, because the market is so locked up, and because interest rates are so high. Anything that you get is probably going to need some work unless you have a really huge budget, and not to mention there's a potential that the market's going to fall, and a market correction, because it went through such a period of growth. It's a weird time to try to start your family, just because the market to get into a home now is much, much different than it was 20, 30 years ago. And I particularly think that there is going to be a large shift in the future, kind of now, that's happening now, where the dream of owning your own home as a single family unit is kind of, that window's sort of closing. Most of history, people lived multi-generationally. People lived in like more communal type situations. And it was really the suburban sprawl, the American dream, that led us to believe that we should all have our own homes on our own lot with our own yard. And that boom was largely predicated on a housing market that burned once before in 2008, and I think will burn again. And I think each time it burns, there's just a certain level of maybe realization that isn't a sustainable, like just land itself, taxes. You just cannot have your land to be valued like that. You can't have your housing be a line that goes up where that's everyone's source of that's everyone's biggest investment. That's most Americans' biggest investment long term is their housing. And I don't think that is a sustainable or ethical way to treat your housing, because then it ultimately results in a situation like you have now, where people get priced out of it, and people who have it are guarding that value and don't want it to change. They only want it to go up. But unfortunately, this isn't Bitcoin. This isn't a stock portfolio. This is a place to live. And that detaches, that value detaches from the reality of one of a human's most basic needs, right? Pretty quickly. So it's not the end of the world. It's not like, housing market is, well, it might crash, but that's not really what I think. It's not the end of the world is what I'm saying. It is something that I think is changing. I think what the American dream means to generations is changing. And I think one of the first steps is reevaluating what we expect to have as far as home ownership, and can everybody own their own home? I don't know. From where my generation's sitting, people in their late 20s, early 30s and beyond in age, there's a good swath of us that are thinking, I don't know, can we? Is that a possibility? I don't know. Remains to be seen. So, anyways, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to put this together and go to bed.